is Casey, and we are on episode 9 of Elder Scrolls Online. Let's get started. So right now I have to talk to Counselor Eris for the quest of family and faith.
And so the Outlander returns, as we discussed in the swamp. I expected you to return with Vea, or present me with a time and place for us to meet. Tell me, Outlander, which is it to be?
There was a complication.
Complication? What kind of complication? I ordered my soldiers to stand down and let you do things your way. But instead of results, you bring me excuses.
Your son is dead. He was killed during the House Redoran raid on the Ashlander camp.
No, that's not possible. My son was banished, ordered to leave Vardenfell and never return. Why would he disobey me and go to those savages?
Vea was with me. She confirmed it was her brother, Ulron.
Vea was with you? And you left her out there? By the three, everything is unraveling no matter how hard I try to maintain control. I need you to do something else for me, if you would, Outlander.
What else do you need me to do, Counselor?
Tell my daughter I'm sorry. Tell her she needs to stay away until I can calm things down. I don't want to see anything happen to her. Promise me. And take this. Consider it payment for your efforts thus far.
Right, so I get the War Claws Battle Bow and 98 gold. So complete quest.
If you'll excuse me, I need some time to consider everything you told me. Once I determine the best way to proceed, I'll contact you. In the meantime, make sure Vea stays away from Balmora and House Redoran.
Did you order the attack on the Ashlander camp?
It was never meant to be an attack. I sent Captain Briven to clear land that already belonged to House Redoran. The Ashlanders were given an opportunity to depart. The situation didn't have to turn violent. Those damn savages should have just left.
It was an Ashlander camp. How is that Redoran land?
House Redoran has been slowly expanding in that direction for years. We claimed that area almost a year ago, but we were forced to temporarily abandon it when a massive ash storm hit. Before we could return, the Ashlanders moved in.
Why not just let them use the land? They're nomads. They would have left eventually.
Redoran depends on that land for hunting and resources. The Ashlanders are like a plague of insects. They sweep into an area, take everything, and move on. We couldn't allow them to do that here. So, I sent Captain Briven to convince them otherwise.
It sounds like I need to talk to Captain Briven. Where can I find him?
The captain serves House Redoran with honor and dedication. He's out doing his job. If Briven had anything to do with my son's death, he would have reported it to me. He'd have no reason to keep such news from me and the other counselors.
Ulron left behind a speaking stone. His last message indicated that he planned to talk to Brivan.
I'll speak to Briven when he returns. But understand, the captain operated under my orders. He's an exemplary soldier and an upstanding member of the House. Like me, everything he does is for the betterment of House Redoran.
Alright, goodbye. Alright, so I just leveled up, so I'm going to claim leveling rewards. So I got 500 gold, a bag space upgrade. So how many did I get? So claim. Right, and you're okay, so from 60 to 70 I have attribute points to level up. I have 1. So I'm gonna do stamina. Alright, and then I have 1 skill point that I need to upgrade. So let's morph the ability to... This is an ill-advised morph, and then this is an advised morph. New effect. When slotted, your movement speed when while sneaking or invisible is increased. Let's actually use that one. Alright, now I'm gonna continue on with the quest, so I need to... Oh, okay.
Outlander, over... Now you told me what you found in the Ashlander mine. I can't imagine what Vaya must be going through right now, but she shouldn't be alone. That's why I came looking for you.
Why me? Isn't Naryu with her?
Naryu has responsibilities to tend to. Morag Tong responsibilities. Understand? She left me to keep Vaya company, but I'm not very good at spouting words of comfort and solace. Unless I can kill something, I'm very good at that.
So you want me to talk to Vaya?
You do understand. And now you implied you're as dense as the ash storms coming off Red Mountain. Good to know even the Mother of Blades can be wrong. Vaya's upset, and not just about her brother. She wanted to go with Naryu.
Alright, I'll go talk to Vaya.
One other thing. Naryu's job concerns House Redoran. That's why she didn't want Vaya to accompany her on this one. Vaya's grief-stricken, angry, and ready to lash out at anyone and anything. So keep your head low and try not to upset her.
Sounds like you have some experience getting on Vaya's bad side.
I have experience getting on a lot of people's bad sides. Women, especially, find me exasperating. Irresistible, but exasperating. It's a gift.
Why does Vaya want to go with Naryu?
Something about who Naryu's target is. Thinks the target may know something about what happened to her brother. Look, I'm not even sure how Vaya found out who Naryu's target is, and I don't want to know. Just go and talk to her,
Any
please.
advice on how I should approach Vaya?
Carefully, and with your hands empty and clearly visible. She's in the safe house beneath Balmora, or at least that's where I left her. But I didn't lock the door, so I suppose she could be anywhere by now. I suggest you hurry and get down there.
Alright, goodbye. So it looks like she should be down here.
Get out of here, Ashur. I don't need a nursemaid, no matter what Naryu might think. Oh, it's you. Sorry about that. Did Ashur send you to check up on me? I swear, the next person that treats me like a child is gonna find my dagger in their stomach. Gods, I'm not mad at you. I'm just annoyed at everybody right now.
Do you want me to leave?
No, I don't think so. It's just been difficult. Finding poor Ulran in the Ashlander camp. I need to be doing something. Sitting down here in the dark, hiding, that's not gonna solve anything.
But Naryu told you to stay here.
I know, but Naryu's writ. It involves a Redoran counselor. Exactly the opportunity I've been waiting for. The counselor knows who set up my brother. We need to talk to her before Naryu executes the writ. Do this for me, and I promise to stay here.
Alright, where can I find Naryu?
Well, Naryu wouldn't tell me any specifics, but she trained me well. It wasn't hard to sneak a glance at the writ before she took off. Her target's at Arenum Manor, out in the swamp. Not far from that smelly cave, actually.
I'll go to Arnhem Manor and see if we can delay Naryu's kill long enough to learn anything.
I appreciate you agreeing to see what you can learn at Arenum Manor. My father used to say it was used by counselors as a retreat, but Mother always told me it was where they conducted business that required a certain degree of privacy.
Have you given any thought to your brother's message?
That's all I've been doing, thinking. And I think Ulran was right. I think someone wanted him out of the way, and they orchestrated the event with the Ashlanders to do it. Someone played my brother for a fool, and it cost him his life.
What can you tell me about Captain Brivon?
Brivon's as stubborn as my father when it comes to following the rules and regulations of House Redoran. Ulran and Brivon were best friends, even if they argued from time to time.
What did Brivon and Ulran argue about?
Politics, foreign relations, the Ashlanders. You name an issue, and Ulran and Brivon were probably on opposite sides of the argument. It got to the point where I had to ignore both of them or they'd drive me insane.
I told your father what happened to Ulran.
You did? How did he take it? I mean, he didn't know that my brother was dead.
I didn't know, and he seemed as upset as you are over the news.
Really? I suppose that makes sense. I think he loves us, in his own way. But what else did he say? Did he know that Ulran had been banished?
He told Ulran to go to the mainland. He didn't expect them to return to the Ashlanders for help shelter.
He didn't expect... My father doesn't know his children as well as he thinks. Either of them. That's why I had to get away. Join the Morag Tongue. At least Naryu understands me. Mostly.
Your father said you should avoid House Redoran until he can sort out what happened.
I can't agree to that. I need to figure out what happened to my brother, who was involved, and then I'm going to make them pay. Just you watch.
Alright, goodbye. Alright, so I have to go to Arnhem Manor. I'm gonna head there now. So I'm actually going to check the map quickly. Alright, so it looks like if I follow this path here, I'll be able to get there.
I expected you hours ago. I was wondering how long it was going to take Vea to convince you to follow me. But she thought I didn't notice when she glanced at my writ, didn't she? Where is my overly curious apprentice, by the way?
Vea stayed in Balmora. She wants me to see if your target knows about Ulran's exile and murder.
I know Vea wants answers, but this is my job. There are rules, especially where the lords of the great houses are concerned. There might be a way to deal with this, though, provided you're willing to help.
What do you need me to do?
First, don't kill any Redrons. That's a violation of my writ and could have serious consequences for both of us. Second, you sneak around and search for anything that pertains to Ulran's exile while I figure out how to deal with the counselor.
Alright, I'll see you when I can turn that. We'll see what I
We
can
need
do.
to be invisible. These things work best when no one but the target knows we're there. If you get spotted, you're on your own. I even cough on anyone without a writ, and the Morag tongue will have my head.
Do you often receive writs that call for the deaths of high-ranking house officials?
It's unusual, but not unheard of. True, most writs taken out against the houses target low to mid-ranking officials. The Grand Master is cautious when it comes to accepting such a high-profile writ. Apparently, though, this target has been very bad.
What did the counselor do?
I'm not privy to the laborious investigations that took place. In cases like these, though, the target usually becomes complacent and lets her guard down. She made a mess. Now I get to clean it up, for the good of Dunmer society.
What do you think Ulran was... Why do you think Ulran was really exiled?
That's the question, isn't it? It nags at us the way the torchbug nags at the brave little scrib in those children's stories. Once we discover who Ulron's torchbug is, we'll have a clearer understanding of why they set him up, and why he had to die.
You think Ulran's death was all part of the plan?
I'm not saying that. Accidents happen. But they certainly made sure Ulran was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Both in Balmora and again in the Ashlander camp. In addition to whatever you can find here, we should also talk to Captain Briven.
You think Captain Briven's involved in all this?
Briven's name keeps coming up. At the very least, he was Ulran's best friend once. He might be able to shed some light on Ulran and what happened to cause his exile. And I really want to know what took place after Ulran left us that message.
Do you need to leave Vea behind?
Vea's my apprentice, and I'll decide when she's ready to take on a mission. She's been through a lot, and her actions reflect on me and my status in the Morag tongue. She may not appreciate it right now, but I'm trying to keep the both of us on track.
So you're accountable for Vea's actions?
That's how it works. Her actions are my actions. Vea goes out and executes 3 writs. I share the credit and get praised for training my apprentice. On the other hand, if she kills someone without a writ, the Morag tongue takes both our heads.
Morag tongue rules are that stringent.
There have to be. My order came this close to being eliminated. It's only recently that we've started to make a comeback, and only in Dunmer territory. If we can't control the actions of our members, we'll be hunted down and destroyed for sure.
Alright, goodbye. Find a way into the manor. Optional steps. Avoid killing Redron soldiers. So... let me just sneak through the water. Alright, so... Journal. With the revelation that Vea's brother is dead, Counselor Eris has asked me to keep his daughter away from Volmar and House Redoran while he looks into what happened. In the meanwhile, Asher asked me to talk to Vea. Naryu and I need to find a way into the manor, then I can look for information regarding Ulron's exile, and then she can execute her writ against House Belvera. Right, so the only entrance that I can see is through that door there, so like...
Doing? You can't just go around killing Redrin soldiers. My action's on the line here.
That's okay.
He hears voices in his head. Don't worry.
The front door's guarded like a bank vault. Maybe there's another way in through one of the buildings by the docks. This looks promising. Might even lead to the wine cellars. I could use a good bottle of wine.
Can agree with you there, woman. Arnhem basement, sweet. And then
You do not want to get on my bad side, trust me.
If we don't find anything, maybe we can ask for an invitation to the upcoming council meeting. I'm sure they'd be happy to answer our questions. So House Redoran issued an advisory against the Morag Tong? Fat lot of good that's going to do the councillor.
I'm like shocked that none of them actually saw me as I was kind of just walking by.
Damn the luck. I was hoping for a quick stab and go, but it seems the councillor might actually know something about Ulron.
Seems to be making a lot of enemies.
So talk to Naryu.
So Councillor Dolvra does know something about Vea's brother. Damn it all. Now I suppose you want to actually talk to her before I execute the walking pile of pond scum.
Why don't we need to find out what she knows about Ulron?
Of course we do. I specifically waited for you to arrive because I figured that would be the case. Still doesn't mean I'm happy about blurring the line between helping Vea and performing my duty as a Morag Tong.
What do you think about the other information we found?
We discovered that the next meeting of the High Council will take place at the consulate outside Balmra. The war clause and the Ashlander abuse aren't completely sanctioned by the House, and Dolvera was present when Ulron was exiled. Not a bad haul.
And that all means?
That means we have to get Dolvera to spill her guts before I spill her guts. Just keep your wits about you, hero. Dolvera wields her feminine charms the way I wield my daggers. Don't let her seduce you into doing something stupid before I end her.
Alright, goodbye. So now we have to confront Counselor Dolvera. So we gotta go back into the manor. I'm assuming... Yep, it's right here.
Be quick with your questions, hero. When I slip in, so do my daggers.
Counselor's quarters.
Ah, you must be here about those pesky patrol schedules. After all that clandestine correspondence, it's a pleasure to finally meet you in person. Now. Well, look at you. I'm impressed. The last person House Drez sent over was so much more scruffy. I have a meeting with House Halalu shortly, but I think I can spare a few more moments for you to seal our partnership, you understand?
I'm not here about that. I want to know about Ulron and Relith.
Oh, you do you? And why in Oblivion would I tell you anything about that?
Because I need to know the circumstances surrounding his trial and exile.
You're obviously not my afternoon appointment. You'd best take your leave before I have my soldiers throw you into the swamp.
I'm not leaving until you tell me why Ulron had to die.
Ulron's dead? That's news to me. All I know is that Ulron was tested and found wanting. He decided that the life of an Ashlander was more important than that of a Redoran soldier. We stripped him of his rank and banished him from Vardenfell.
Tested? Was that Ulron tested?
Everyone knew Ulron
Why
cared
was
more
Ulron
about those
tested?
savages than he did for members of his own house. But what does it matter who tested his loyalty? He failed and paid the price for his poor choices. Now, tell me what this is about before I get really angry.
I don't think your anger's going to matter in a moment.
That's what you're wearing? All right, but it's your funeral.
How dare you! I'm a lord of House Redoran, the Morag Tong.
The Morag Tong issued the writ with your name on it. You do remember that House Redoran frowns upon slavery these days, yes? Take another look around, hero, and see if you can find anything else related to Ulron.
Cabinet, caravan scheduled. In regards to our interest in Balmora, excite me to no end. Best to keep the houses on equal footing, and what better way to accomplish that than by mutual trust and cooperation between two influential insiders. The information you passed along was exceedingly helpful. Take this beautiful collection of jewels as a thank you. Hopefully they'll keep you enthralled until my next visit. Speaking of visits, our mutual associate of House Drez has agreed to finally meet with you face to face. I'm sure the same charms you used to captivate me will have a similar effect on the Drez agents. Once you get to know each other a little better, I have no doubt that you'll be able to improve the slave trade 100-fold. Why let the tribunal and a few pact rules get in the way of profit and our cherished way of life? Layla. Right, so there's that.
More proof
and there's
that
also
Dolvera was in bed with both House Halalu and House Drez.
Dear Dolvera, or Counselor Dolvera, thanks for your impressive recommendation. I've been given command of our forces in the Balmora region and promoted to the rank of captain. Remind me that I owe you the next time I can get away from my duties for an hour or two. I've taken the liberty of reassigning most of the soldiers previously under Ulron's command in order to provide them with a chance to start fresh under the new regime. Only Vadalo Tilem's squad remains intact. They were with Ulron on the duty of the incident, and I want you to personally debrief them before I make any sweeping changes in the meantime. I sent them to scout the old fort west of Balmora to keep them busy. Also, I wanted to thank you for reconnecting me with Fahara and her mercenary unit. I worked with them in the past, and they've been a godsend for blustering over bolstering over presence in contested territory. Here's the rest of the unit assignment in case you're interested. The rest of the letter contains a list of various soldiers and unit assignments. Alright.
That's Captain Briven's seal. I suppose our evil counselor courted favor wherever she could find it.
Talk.
The good Captain Briven appears to be more involved in Ulron's fate than I had imagined. He never struck me as the type to use murder and deceit to get ahead, but that's the problem with greed. It causes decent people to make stupid choices.
It sounds like the captain is spreading Ulron's soldiers to the four winds to make a fresh start.
Or he's trying to hide something. The letter mentioned an intact squad sent to scout the old fort. You need to get out there and see what those soldiers know before Briven gives them new orders and they disappear.
Should I let Vea know what we discovered first?
If you can slip into town, sure. Vea should be told. But you didn't take my advice. You killed Redoran soldiers. That's your trouble to deal with. I need to present my completed writ, so I'll catch up with you and Vea later.
I'll go talk to Vea. Alright, I think I'm going to end off the episode there, and I hope you enjoyed